Hey friends, welcome back to the house this week for another drink and another YouTube first review. Full transparency, we don't normally buy these.
No.
We don't, no. We look at pre-made cocktails in a can or a glass and we usually keep moving. They're just not our thing.
It's like a one-off scenario where we'll buy a bottle of Slow and Low, usually as a gift for someone, or to take camping.
Yeah, but this one we actually picked up during an OHLQ annual sales event, and I am a huge fan of figs. So when I saw fig on the label, I was like, yes please.
You got to say the name of the event right. It's Liquordation.
Oh, that's right, Liquordation. A Black Friday for spirit enthusiasts like us. So, what are we covering this week? We are actually covering Dashfire Fig and Cascara Manhattan.
Yay, Manhattan! Very close in resemblance to...
Don't say old-fashioned. Is that what you were going to say?
No, it's, up there in New York, Long Island, blah, 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 Hyde Park. I don't know. Old-fashioned.
Yeah. So, backstory on Dashfire. So, Dashfire, their distillery is actually in Minnetonka, Minnesota. Such a cool name. Such a cool name. It reminds me of like the old WWE wrestler. I cannot remember his name.
Reminds me of canoes.
Yeah, okay, canoes. Yeah. I mean, it's a good Native American name. Mm-hmm. But really cool area for sure. And Dashfire was actually founded in 2013 by Lee Egbert. Now, like many others that we actually review here on the channel, it's a family-ran business where Lee runs the graphics and the flavor design, and then his wife, Dawn, actually runs the operations and finance side of the house. Well, Dashfire, if you're a spirit enthusiast, you make cocktails, you probably know the name because they started as bitters. But since then, they've really expanded their house where now they're doing coffees, spirits, and pre-made cocktails. So the inspiration for the cocktails that they make is really drawn from Lee's travels around the world. I mean, this guy has gone all over the place and he's really taking in things from where he goes, spices, culture, the different flavors, all of those things on where he's at, and he likes to try to honor each of those things in each sip that you actually have.
And that's really what pushes the envelope for flavor combinations, cocktails, even just like standard cooking. It's all about mixing the right ingredients and not necessarily from the exact same location. Especially here in the United States, so much of our food has not originated in the United States. We truly are a melting pot, and I think we carry that forward with the pioneering spirit of cocktails.
Agreed, definitely agree. So that's a great segue into the flavors. What about this one here that kind of adds to it?
So this cocktail is made with rye whiskey, cream sherry, and bitters. Now that's a mild variation on your traditional Manhattan, which is going to be rye whiskey and sweet vermouth dash of bitters. So the cream sherry instead of the vermouth is going to enhance that flavor profile a little bit more. Still a classic Manhattan. Now, Lee takes it a step further and elevates this flavor profile with the addition of Black Mission Fig, Cascara Cherry, vanilla, and rhubarb.
That, I have no idea.
Oh no, it makes perfect sense.
Okay, good. Please explain, because when I saw rhubarb root, and I was like, what?
Rhubarb is going to bring a fruity brightness to it. It's going to balance out with that cherry and vanilla. And really just further enhance a lot of those other flavor profiles. I mean, think about a rhubarb pie. Rhubarb often gets paired with strawberries. It's really just going to bring a bright element to the Manhattan, which is what the bitters is designed to do in the first place.
Okay, when you call out the pie, then it kind of makes sense. All right. I get it. All right.
So, Dashfire has actually bottled this pre-made cocktail at 38% alcohol by volume.
Pretty good number.
Which is a pretty good number. And you think about how you start out with your rye whiskey, it may or may not be 40%. Maybe a little higher. So this really is a ready-to-drink cocktail. So that would be considered straight. You know, as we drink most everything on the channel straight, we try it neat first, see what kind of flavor profiles we can pick out of it with our limited and untrained palates.
Yeah.
Also recommended by Dashfire is to have a non-traditional cocktail, which is basically just you take your glass, throw in a ball of big clear ice, and then pour it on top. Or you could make it in a more traditional cocktail way, which would be to stir it over ice and then strain it into a chilled coupe glass. And don't forget to garnish it, preferably with an Egbert's cherry.
Yes, preferably.
Preferably. I'm a fan of Luxardo cherries, so sorry, not sorry.
So we are going to stick with what we normally do of drinking this straight. And then because I'm a fan of cold cocktails, I think we're going to drop some big chunks of ice in there afterwards to see, does it alter the taste any? Does it just make it colder?
I don't really know that we have any standard cocktails that we go to that are not cold. Everything is at least chilled.
Yeah, now you speak of that. Yeah, everything is shaken with ice in that we make.
Or hot.
Okay, or hot.
Or hot.
Yes, yeah.
Hot cocktail is pretty tasty.
Yeah, agree with that. All right, so we ready to get in there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, what do we got here? Plastic without the little stickies.
That's all right. We're prepared.
Are we?
No.
Trusting me with a knife?
At least I am.
Ta-da.
Nice pop.
So cute and little.
Okay.
All right. It is a little sticky, as to be expected.
I smell the rye, but it's very light.
I smell spices first.
I'm picking up on that next. I'm not picking up any on the cherry, any on the fig by the nose.
It's almost like it wants to be some sort of cross between like a sarsaparilla root beer and a cola.
All right. I can see that. Or smell that.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. All right, there is the fig and the cherry.
There's the rye.
And you pick up on the rye, I pick up on the sweet fruit flavors.
The fig, the cherry is there. The vanilla is there. Everything is layered beautifully where you don't have one element overpowering anything else. I think this is really, really well balanced.
Yeah, this is very tasty. I'm not sure if I've ever drank a Manhattan at a bar. So, yeah, I'm not sure if I can say, well, this is definitely it compared to what I've had in a bar. And not that that is the level of measure.
Well,
However, I could say that it is very well mixed and proportioned, and you pick up on all the different flavors of it.
given what I know about Manhattans, if you like this, then you would really enjoy some of those, $15 and $20 Manhattans that I avoid ordering at the bar.
Probably.
Basically just on price. This tastes really good, really more like definitely one of those high dollar Manhattans, not something that we would go to like the cinemas and get, but something that you would find in a true craft mixologist, more bougie type bar.
Yeah. I think we picked this one, I think it was like $25. Maybe even a little bit less, a couple dollars less.
Maybe even a little bit less.
Yeah. So it was a great price.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely worth the dice roll on seeing how it turned out. But I really like it.
I think serving this in a traditional way, the layperson is not going to be able to tell that you did not mix the Manhattan yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to impress your guests with your mixology skills, pick it up. Stir it over ice, strain it into your chilled glass. Manhattan.
This is very good. The more I drink it, the more the rye flavor comes out.
Mm-hmm. And that is how my experience with a Manhattan is initially you taste that, the orange peel on the rim, you taste that bitters and the cherry and those other flavors from the vermouth and other spices before you get into the rye.
Well, if you like figs or cherries or hell, even Manhattans themselves, and you happen to run across this, it is very well worth the purchase price. It is not loaded up with a bunch of junk to throw it off on flavor. So definitely one that we would recommend. And if next time when we're out, when we run out of this, we know that it's not pricey enough to walk past it, we'll
Now,
pick up another one.
How would you rate this versus the slow and low?
This one I would rate higher, simply because the slow and low will knock you on your ass. If you have not had slow and low, it is very good, but it will slowly creep up on you, and before you know it, whoo, you're gone.
I think the Dashfire will do the same.
Possibly, but I really like the sweetness of this, because the slow and low is just stronger on the whiskey flavor, and this one you get more of the sweetness, which I am a huge fan of.
I really like the balance on it, that I'm not picking up too much on the fig or too much on the cherry. It's so well balanced, and that's exactly what a Manhattan should be.
Absolutely.
So,
once again, thanks for tuning in for another Spirit Review. Until next week, it will be entirely different again.
tequila?
Maybe. If I had just throw names in a hat and pull it out and see what it's going to be.
That's probably the best way.
Because now it's just a mix between bourbon, rum, tequila,
Gin
that
Irish.
we have. Yeah, and some other Irish whiskeys.
I think some wheat whiskeys as well.
Yeah, and wheat whiskey. So it's quite the mix of what we have coming up next. So continue to stay tuned. And if you have always followed along, thank you very much. We certainly appreciate it.
And we really want to hear, have you had any of the Dashfire's products, maybe not particularly this one, have you had Egbert's cherries? I've actually never heard of them.
I haven't either. But
Fritters.
we'd love to know on how they are, because this one was damn good. If they've got some others that we should be looking out for, which they do according to their website, we'd love to be able to experiment with some of those too.
Yep.
So definitely share us your thoughts, and until next week, take care, stay safe. We'll see you then. Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.